Hey everyone, you are listening to Narayan Jha. In this podcast, I am going to talk about my book Reinvent Yourself, which is all about learning the fundamentals of living a happy life with nothing. Basically, in this book, I have talked about the finance, goals, achievements, motivation, failures, and a lot of cool things. If you haven't gone through my book Reinvent Yourself, the episode for this podcast is specially for you. So without wasting time, let's get started with the episode. In this episode, let's talk about the chapter 18. Its name is Self-Realization and Improvement Habit. You might have heard that your consistency is the key to the success. But let's try to modify this. Your consistent mistakes are the real key to the success. Because once you start the journey of learning, you start with a lot of mistakes. Having the courage to accept and improve that mistake is a real sign of a warrior. It's not bad to do mistakes, but repeating the same mistake is always bad. Because life is too short for doing the same mistakes again and again. Here also comes the role of habit. We always heard that we should adapt good habit, but at last we end up working with bad habits. Habit is something that we develop while practicing some sort of thing again and again, so that our whole body gets used to it. And we are able to do it all those things very easily with our unconscious mind. If you are gone with adapting good habits, then you might get a lot of great and bright things in the future. Now think, if you are got stuck with some bad habits, you will start getting a lot of bad results. You might end up falling all the time as well. Having a lot of failures might also demotivate you. Whenever something bad happens or some sort of mistake, we generally express sorry for that thing. In reality, sorry means nothing to anyone or to yourself if you are not able to realize that mistake and you're not trying to improve by not improving, not basically repeating and mistake that again. We are using the sorry to stay away from the mistakes or to avoid an awkward situation. Instead of that, we should start acting on mistakes by not repeating that. Similarly, self-realization and improvement are good habits that makes us our own improved version every time. This gives you the chance to introduce yourself to a new person who is better than your previous one. It's similar to upgrading bug-free software from the latest one. We can use a diary to log everything we are doing in our daily life. This works as a history for our efforts, success, failures, and good and bad things. We can use these logs to monitor the stuff and improve with a new solution. A good human is the only one who understands the problems, finds the root cause, and gets a remedy for it. How are you gonna find a solution if you're not able to find the problem? We generally forget the things easily, which is not important for us. The diary works as a log. It covers everything about yourself. This also helps you to meet the 5 years before person. You can easily judge with the whatever you are on, whether you are on a right track or not. You can modify your things as per your logs as well. To get into this habit, you should be very humble and down to earth. You should not have any relation with the ego, because accepting your problems, mistakes, and have feedback needs a lot of courage to accept. Once you learn to accept those, you took one step ahead to improving your newest version of yourself. Those people who go on the track of self-realization and improvement habits are the most honest person for themselves. By the way, there is no good use lying to yourself when even no one is watching you. Realization about your things with time also matters. It's a kind of self-retrospection to yourself. Those who don't realize their things on time sometimes have to pay the highest penalty of life. It's always good to adapt such good habits on time. This makes you always prepare for change of change kind of feeling. You never got stuck in one position. Realization and improvement habit are good habits. Because if you got stuck in any kind of bad habit, it helps you realize it in its early stage and gives you the chance to improve yourself. It's always a good practice to monitor your logs weekly or monthly so that any kind of change in things is easily possible. When you get self-realized, you start the power of acceptance, which is a kind of real meditation with yourself. And you are able to achieve a state of patience, peace, and other types of energies which is inside you. The more you practice this habit, the more powerful and improved you are going to be. Once you start completing different stages of self-realization, you start controlling your senses, which means Indriya. Controlling your senses will give you the ability to understand good and bad things. Also, you'll be able to control your desires as well. Just because of your desire itself, you are living a stressful life and got ourselves stuck in different problems. This works for most of us throughout our life, but no one tries to understand this and break this. The most important reason to get self-realized is so that we can start giving value to the loved ones, nature, and all the important aspects of our life without much worrying about the materialistic thing, which is just another dab. It was wonderful having this episode. I really enjoyed. As of now, let's end this episode and we'll meet you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening.